back to my channel. For today's junk journal with me, we are going to be doing day 7 of the Junk Journal January challenge, and today in the collaboration we are with Kia over at Kia Creates, so be sure to check out her video. It will be in the playlist that is linked down below. Today's prompt is Shimmer, and this is one of the prompts that's a little bit more literal, because what I've tried to do with the prompts is have a mix of ones that are a little bit more vague, open to interpretation, and then there are ones that are a little bit more straightforward. So things like Shimmer, for me, I take it as a bit more literal in the sense that I'm thinking of things that are, sparkly, shiny, and what I decided to do was use some of my gold and silver like shiny paints, and I didn't necessarily want them to be like a huge part of this spread. So what I decided to do was leave them until later on after I'd done kind of some of my normal journaling, and then bring those in, just because I didn't want it to be too overpowering. So what I'm doing first, working on this spread, I decided to work across both sides of the page just because I really loved that beautiful pink floral image that I've got there on the right hand side. I put down just some watered down white acrylic paint because the paper that was on the left hand side, it was a little bit in your face with that illustration, and to be honest, I ended up covering up over most of the page anyway with my collage, but I just did it just to subdue everything and give myself a little bit more of a clean slate. So if you're someone who is faced with like all those junk journal pages and you're wondering how to do your journaling like on top of things with text, things with images, you're not sure where to go, putting down like thin layers of acrylic paint or gesso or tissue paper, anything that can just push back the text or whatever it is and make it more of a background layer. That way you've got something then to work on, but I still find it better than working onto just a plain like white journal page. Sometimes you've got something to work with and respond to, and I think that's what I like most about junk journal pages, where you've got all the different papers and textures and things going on, is that you've already got something to work with. You've not just got a blank canvas, and of course you don't have to have all of it showing up. Like, you can completely cover it up with collage and completely ignore what's underneath, but it just gives you something to start with. And as always, I'm using a variety of papers here, so my just tea stained tissue paper, brown paper packaging that I had, a random like bright yellow post-it note that I don't know what it is, something about that shade of yellow in my journals in small doses I find really pops, and I quite enjoy using it as a pop of colour, so it's definitely something that I want to do more. And what I'm doing is just building up something that has a little bit of a focal point. So with that yellow there, I'm kind of working my collage around it. Had that clothing tag, I think it was, that I really liked the bold writing, but it just didn't make sense there. I felt like it was competing too much, so I decided to replace it with just some book text. And then I was also using this translucent vellum clothing tag, and I really liked the little sentiment that said "take good care," which is obviously take good care of the t-shirt or whatever it was, but I just thought that it was a nice little sentiment to include in my journal as well. I felt like this page needed some more imagery, so I wanted to add one of these washi floral stickers. I believe I got the pack on Amazon a good while ago now, so I'm afraid I can't give you the link, but I'm sure if you search for them you'll find something that is similar, and I love using these. You can't tell too much here, but if you put them onto a background that's like cream or white, they blend straight in and they're absolutely beautiful. And I'm just adding little bits just around the yellow post-it note, again just to make that more of a focal point, because I know that's where I'm going to want to come in and do some hand lettering in a little bit. I'm then just adding some little crisscross like sparkles. I normally do this with my white pen, but I just decided I wanted to do it in my black pen. This is a Tombow marker, just for that contrast on the page. And then I decided I wanted to add some washi tape to this page, and I was enjoying in the previous few pages doing like the stacks of washi tape, so I just decided to do that again, and I picked some of the pinks to carry through the colours of the pink on the flower on the right hand side and kind of bring that across onto the left hand side, because I already had that yellow on the flowers kind of going through the pages, and I just wanted to bring it together a little bit. So I just picked a few that I liked, one with some stars, one that was more of a grid washi tape, and then finally this floral one as well, just as a finishing touch. So they were kind of clashing patterns, but they worked. Now these are the paints that I used to create my shimmers, and they are the Kuretake, I believe it's pronounced, starry colours. They come in 6 different colours, and I decided to use the one that was rose gold for this page. And all I did was just added some water to the paint, and then I did some little splashes with my paintbrush, like sort of tapped it and just had those little shimmers. And to me this felt like it was just enough shimmer on the page to add the little sparkles, but it wasn't too overpowering. So it was definitely a nice way to add that sparkly touch to my page. And I'm just trying to show you here how the sparkles look. And I think as well, because the pink flower was on a dark background, it really popped, and I loved the way that it looked. And actually I didn't add anything else to the right hand side of this page. I just felt like it was enough. And sometimes, you know, it's good to know when to stop, because I'm sometimes guilty of adding too much to a page, but I decided that it didn't need any more. And so what I added here was my hand lettering quote over on the left hand side. So I'm just using again my Tombow brush marker, and I'm writing "you only fail when you stop trying," and I just did that in some like cursive lettering, just to add sort of a bold element to this page. The page was feeling quite full, and I didn't want to add too much else to this, so I came in with these number stamps, which I'm absolutely loving using in this journal, just to add my 07. And I think numbering the pages is sometimes a really nice touch, just so that when I come back through the journal, I know which page correlates to which prompt. And then randomly I found a little stamp that I'd peeled off some Happy Mail, so I just stuck that down, and then I was finished. The last thing I did randomly was I actually decided to rip the page, because I felt like I was missing a little bit of texture, and so I just decided to rip the journal page. Why not? Added a cool effect to the top there and had more peeking through. So that is my finished journal page for the Junk Journal January prompt of Shimmer. I hope you enjoyed journaling along with me. As always, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you guys tomorrow for the next one. Bye guys!